I know, I'm able to do that. The less I know, the more I'm dependent on having each and every of everything.
Yeah, this week I heard something that really caught my attention, and I probably heard this before, but in SEAL training, they obviously you're underwater a lot. Probably, I'm kind of visualizing this, right?
So imagine drowning.
Imagine
all the time,
drowning, and you feel like
then-
you're about to die. I mean, you're at that verge where you feel like I'm going to die. The truth and the fact is that you have about 40% more that you can give, about 40% more at that point. So I think with that mentality, in not just in military training, but in pretty much every situation in life, you feel like you're at the edge of your rope, and maybe we feel that financially or whatever. We feel that every day. I mean, we feel like I just can't do this anymore, but we really have a lot more that we can actually give, and it takes that practice and that preparing and that experimenting and that trying and failing to really realize that.
Yeah, and it's more than just that trying and failing. I think the failing is the operative phrase in that, right? The more we fail, the more we learn what doesn't work, the closer we are to having all the things, all the right things working.
Mm-hmm.
And it also creates resilience. Like, the more you can fail, like, sounds like totally, I don't know if it's going to sound cliche or just totally like I'm a moron, but I actually enjoy what I learned from failing.
Oh yeah,
I try to analyze everything, and I've failed a lot. Like, if there's
Tim's
one
never
thing I'm
failed.
really good at in life, it is failure. I am so freaking good at it.
Me too.
I can show you 1,000,001 ways to fail, but the best thing is each one of those failure points is now given me more skills, more knowledge, more adaptability, more resilience to try again or to try something different and to move forward instead of just sit after a failure and say, woe is me.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's Tim, why don't you tell everybody where they can get your book, and let's kind of transition into guns and fun stuff and what you got coming up.
Well, the book can be done. I think they can still buy it on Kindle and also on Amazon. So it's still for sale on both those places.
Okay, so and you can go to your website, right? And
it just leads back over to Kindle and Amazon.
Yeah, Tim Ralston Live, and it'll just direct you right over there.
TimRalstonLive.com, and then take you to Kindle. Okay, cool. So I've read it. Scott's read it. We definitely recommend it, especially if you are thinking, kind of the opposite of what we've been talking about today. We think like I got to have so much stuff that I feel overwhelmed that I'm not even going to start or try. Right? Please don't feel that way. Just get started, and you will realize how little you need.
Well, the nice thing
only
is
survive and thrive.
Tim's book it's not a heavy read. It's not. It's a light read, meaning it's quick, it's to the point, it's clear, it's concise, and it gives you a jumping off point for each of the different chapters. Like, here's where you can start. Here's what I've learned. Like, here's where I love. Tim's like, here's how I failed, and here's what works. Here's how I failed, and here's what works. And then here's how you implement all that. So go get the book, but we're gonna jump ship on the book and Minimalist for a second, and let's talk Scavenger 6. We've talked about it before. It's such a cool platform. It took you, it seems like forever to get it all finally launched.
It's one of those things, when you guys are talking about failure going into new territories, building a gun is not easy. I thought, okay, we can figure this out. It's not rocket science, but I got to tell you, just getting it to where it is right now has been beyond what I thought and what I thought I could ever do. And we've failed so many different times with manufacturers, but we really did finally struck gold with a manufacturer in Chicago, Schmidt Tooling, and they have really picked up the ball. And we've actually went back to the drawing board after we actually had a gun that went bang, and we were just tweaking it. We went up there because our manufacturers here just couldn't keep up with production or even the thoughts of getting it tooled up. We went up there, and these guys are big. They've been in business 75 years, and they have just a stellar reputation. And we've redone this thing again. And
I haven't paid attention to that. So you've changed the gun again.
Again, yes. Oh my God,
killing me, Smalls.
I know, but we did it, and now it's like insane. I look at it and I giggle because it's so cool looking, but not just because it looks good. It functions better. Because when I was at SHOT Show last time, I had a chance to talk to a lot of survival expert guys, and I said, "Here's our concept. This is what they're doing." We listen. I mean, I'm still a real small company, and the great thing about a small company is you can make changes on the fly, and that's what we did. We listened to all the design implements that people that have been out there that have a lot more experience than I do in firearm development, and they're saying, "Try this, try that." Sit down with all the big engineers, and where I had one guy engineer, now I have 8, a team of people, and with this team of people, we changed the cylinder barrel concept. We still have this, we call them the big bore CB. Big bore CBs are the cylinder barrels that can be interchanged with no tools, and those go from a 5.56 up to a 308. And we had all these experts that had done all the ballistic testing and pressures of the metal that we're using, and we're using a new type of metal to be able to hold the pressure for those bigger rounds in that revolver. And so we had to go to 6 shots of all same calibers and beef up those wall thicknesses to be able to handle those big rounds. Now, everything from a 223 on down, we've changed to this really cool, I call them CB tubes. And if you can imagine what a Gatling gun looks like, all right? But if you had a Gatling gun that you could slide one of the tubes out and slide another one in, again, no tools, on the fly, so you can then customize exactly what you're shooting from a 223 to a 22. So you can make any combination, 6 of any combination caliber you want inside that. Yeah. And so cool. It lightened it up like immensely. We trimmed 3 pounds off this gun. 3 pounds.
So how much does it weigh now?
We're going to come in at just under 5 pounds, like 4 point something
That's
pounds.
Awesome. That really is awesome.
Super lightweight. And we've allowed it so where you can buy just one single tube, okay, that's 7-inch, fully rifled, for just $33.
Wow.
Oh, wow, that's
cool.
Quite different.
So if you don't understand what we're talking about, the Scavenger 6 is a rifle, but it has a revolving chamber, I guess you said, like a revolver. And
cylinder, yeah.
Cylinder, yeah, exactly.
Go to scavenger6.com, and you can actually see what we're talking about.
And each cylinder...
It hasn't even been... Our website is being updated right now, so the newest look... I sent you guys the back of my business card, so maybe you guys could post it where you're at.
Yeah.
But I'm actually flying back to Chicago on the 17th to actually fire the first actual working. We had 4 of them built from them, and we're going to be firing it and doing a lot of testing with it, and we'll probably put our first order in with them that day with about 3,000 pieces. But scuttlebutt is, I've already got one guy that's going to buy 2,000 of my gun.
Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, now, if the reason that you call it the Scavenger 6, and it is in our last couple of minutes here, is as preppers, we need to consider ways to protect ourselves and our family, right? And that is, the most effective ways with firearms. But we eventually get to the point where you're going to run out of everything you have, and that's my opinion. I think times will get hard enough to where we will end up we'll be growing our own food. We're going to run out of things, including ammunition, including most everything that we can go and buy at the store. But the idea with the Scavenger 6 is that it incorporates the most common rounds. Today, from the 22 LR to, like you say, the 308, the 7.62 by 51, that can be scrounged, that can be scavenged when it hits the fan, when life changes, as we know it.
Yeah, it's not the guy that has the most guns that'll win the fight. It's who can find ammo. Ammo is the key. It's again working the problem backwards. Worst case scenario happens tomorrow. Ammunition is going to be just coveted. It'll be more valuable than gold, silver, next to medicine and food. That's going to be your way to buy what you need and to get yourself either protection or put that game on the table. And the nice thing is that with the scavenger, you get to pick the right caliber for the right purpose. So if I'm hunting bunny foo-foo, I'm going to shoot him with my 22. If I've got a bad guy there, I'm going to slap in an AK-47 cylinder barrel. But it's all out of the same gun, and pounds equal pain. So if you're hauling around a 4-pound gun versus a 18-pound gun, that's one. It fires one bullet. So, I can have my backpack that's filled with single tube cylinder barrels that fire different rounds. And so whatever I'm scavenging for, barter for, or have to beg, borrow, steal, whatever the case may be, if I find the bullet is what makes a weapon, useful. At that point, I'm going to have a barrel that matches that bullet, and I'm still in the fight. It may not give you a ton of firepower, but if you have 6 cylinder barrels with the same caliber, then I have 6 shots coming down range of whatever I happen to find. Or you could have a multitude of different types. Start off with a 22, maybe just have to wound them, and then go all the way up to the bigger rounds.
Well, Tim, thanks so much for joining us. We are out of time. We've come up against our break. And again, everybody check out timrawsonlive.com. Do you have a link to the Scavenger 6 there?
Scavenger6.com.
Yes, I do.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for joining us, buddy. We appreciate it. When are you going to be up to Salt Lake next?
Well, I've got a whole series coming up next year that I'm going to be doing a lot of test firing. So when I get ready to come up to Salt Lake City, I'm going to literally do a demo day up there, some of the indoor ranges, so that everybody in your audience can come down, take this thing for a test drive, see what you guys think of it, meet everybody. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. So I'm hoping to start at first of the year.
We'll definitely join you at that. Thanks for joining us today, and thank you, listeners, for being part of the show. We'll catch you on the other side of the break with more Prepper Talk Radio.
Thanks, buddy.
With Grasshopper, you get all the features of a professional business phone system on your mobile phone. Choose a business phone number, make calls, and send texts. Stay connected and work from anywhere with features like Wi-Fi calling and our desktop app. Set up your account in minutes with no long-term contracts and 24/7 customer support. Make your small business big. Now get $20 off your first month when you visit grasshopper.com/radio. That's grasshopper.com/radio.
There are certain things in life that are just going to happen. You are going to get a flat tire on the way to the airport. If you have an important phone call to make, your cell phone battery will be dead. And last but not least, you are going to get older. If you want to age the right way, pick up a copy of the Simply Senior magazine. It has all kinds of information that will make your journey better and offer solutions to those issues that come with getting a little more experienced at life. That's Simply Senior, available at most pharmacies.